Yeah. So if I can just ask, are
Yeah, bro.
you doing API trading currently?
API not yet, but
Okay.
it's in the process.
Okay.
It's been done by some developer.
Okay. So I'll just quickly share my screen. I'll guide you at least before people join again.
Yeah,
So
bro.
we are basically a broker. We are a full stack broker, and we provide apart from the retail side that we have built our terminal for, we also have our API infrastructure that we have built. So our parent is an HFT firm. So they are veterans in this space for a very long time. So now we have decided that we'll come into the broking. We'll offer the same infra for the broking also. So that is where we are right now.
Nice.
So with regards to the API, our API is really strong. What we have built here compared to, so I am an algo trader. Before joining here, I was an algo trader also. So I used to use Zerodha, I've used Dun, I've used Fires also. So much of the API structure that is already built here is already like, it's like really strong. So for ease of building algos, we have Python SDK. And then apart from that, we have REST API also. So like if I can just show some couple of examples. So if you stay till like half an hour, in the first half an hour, I'll go through the entire the
Okay.
terminal we have.
So just I have 2-3 questions. So
Yeah.
how back the data goes?
So for today's webinar that I'm going to show, I'm going to show the historical market data. So in our historical market data, so compared to other brokers, we have open high, low, close, and volume. And then we also have OI, we have L1, L2 ask, we have theta, delta, gamma, vega. We have basically the Greeks for options also. So we have expired options also.
Okay.
And basically everything else. So we have 3 different intervals. So for less than 1 day, which is like 1 minute, 3 minutes and stuff, we have up to the last 3 months. And for intervals greater than 1 day, so it could be 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, we have data up to 10 years.
Okay.
And we have a special case also where we have 1 second data. This also I'll show through the webinar today, which is there for the last 7 days. So this is a very heavy data. So if I were to show you the data.
But bro, I need 25 years of data. Possible by you?
25 years, I'll have to check with the team. So it may be there, but I'll have to check with the team and then only then can I get back to you. So till now, the data is there till like 2016-ish. So till there is data, yeah.
Okay, and bro, is I can able to integrate your API because this is open source or how is it?
No, it's not open source. It's like a API integrated as in with what do you want to integrate it? If you can.
With an open source trading execution platform.
Yeah, you can. Open algo is what you're saying.
Yeah, open algo, correct. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
And
open algo, in fact,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
Sorry, they recently added us to their broker list as well. Open algo is now added Nubra also.
Okay. And bro, there is one concept for backtesting, brute force. So this is I can able to get it done in your platform.
Brute force as in to optimize your parameters is what you're saying.
Yes, correct.
So our platform does not have a backtesting engine. That is, if that is what you're looking at, it's not there. We have the data set that is required. The rest will have to be done on your end, basically.
Acha, so just can you give me a little bit how?
So you will be. Do you have a backtesting engine as such that you have built, or how are you looking at this brute force?
Backtesting engine मेरे पास है, एक थर्ड पार्टी का है.
अच्छा.
And open algo execution है.
अच्छा, open algo execution के लिए ठीक है, समझा.
और डेटा मैं true data से ले रहा हूँ.
अच्छा, so basically data source आप यहाँ से कर सकते हैं depending on whether you like the data source. हमारे यहाँ पे data source is very rich. वही बट वो
मगर आपका
2016
25
से
इयर्स का
है।
नहीं है ना?
हाँ 2016 से डेटा है, यस।
हाँ, तो 25 इयर्स का वो टू डेटा से मिल रहा है।
हाँ ट्रू डेटा से शायद मिल रहा होगा, यस। आई डोंट नो।
हाँ, तो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन के लिए मुझे चाहिए था।
हाँ
अगर
बस
तो अभी
सब
आपका आपका क्या करता है, मतलब नुब्रा एपीआई?
हमारा वी आर फुल फ्लेज अगेन ब्रोकर, तो हमारे यहाँ पे वी हैव प्लेस ऑर्डर्स, वी हैव डेटा, तो डेटा सेट हमारे पास यहाँ पे ऑप्शन चेन का भी आपको रियल टाइम मिल जाता है। तो जैसे रियल टाइम में 20 लेवल्स मिलता है ऑर्डर बुक, रियल टाइम में आपको नॉर्मल प्राइस और वॉल्यूम मिलता है, रियल टाइम में आपको पूरा ऑप्शन चेन भी मिल सकता है। तो अगर
मगर अभी आप फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर गिविंग डेटा, एक्चुअली नुब्रा इज गिविंग डेटा।
no, we are like every other broker, so we give data both
ओके।
historical real time, then we have place orders, so you can place orders through our, because we are a broker, right? You can
अच्छा,
place
सो यू कैन डू द
orders.
एग्जीक्यूशन आल्सो।
Yes, we can do the execution also. So we have like single orders that you can do. We have multi orders that you can do. So एक ही API call में you can do as many orders as you want. Then we have flexi orders जहाँ पे आप options basically का जो strategy है, वो जो 2 लेग 3-4 लेग जो बनाओगे, वो वाले ऑर्डर्स भी एक डिफरेंट पेलोड है उसके लिए हमने बनाया हुआ
समझ
है।
गया, समझ गया ब्रो। बट मुझे तो ये एंजल और एमी ब्रोकर भी ये करता है, करेक्ट?
कौन सा, ये फ्लेक्सी बास्केट वाला लेग्स?
हाँ।
हमारे यहाँ पे हमारा इन हाउस ओएमएस है, तो हमारा कंट्रोल बहुत ज्यादा है। तो जैसे मल्टी ऑर्डर में आप जाओगे ना, यूजुअली यू विल हैव दिस 10+ ऑर्डर का लिमिट, बट हमारे यहाँ पे यू कैन प्लेस एज मेनी ऑर्डर्स एज यू वांट, वी विल बैच इट ऑन आवर एंड, बिकॉज
नहीं
हमारे
देखो,
पास वो ओएमएस
मैं मैं
हाँ
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, देखो मैं डेटा एक सोर्स से लेता हूँ, टू डेटा से
हाँ हाँ
लेता हूँ, नहीं तो एनएससी से लेता हूँ, ठीक है।
हाँ
और मेरा एआई इंजन हो गया, और वो मेरा ट्रेड स्ट्रैटेजी को एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, जो भी
हाँ
स्ट्रैटेजी अवेलेबल है आज का, ओके, वो एग्जीक्यूट करेगा। बाद में मेरा आएगा ओपन एल्गो फॉर एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए,
यस।
वो एग्जीक्यूशन कर देगा। उसके बाद वो ब्रोकर पे जाएगा, वो ब्रोकर एमी ब्रोकर और एंजल ब्रोकर कर देगा, करेक्ट? अभी नुब्रा नुब्रा क्या करता है अभी इसमें, मतलब अभी ये जो स्टेजेस में है, नुब्रा कहाँ मेरे को हेल्प करेगा?
सभी जगह हेल्प करेगा। हमारे यहाँ पे डेटा यहाँ हमारे पास है, यू डोंट हैव टू
हाँ।
कॉल डेटा फ्रॉम समवेयर एल्स। हमारे यहाँ पे
अच्छा,
प्लेस
तो
ऑर्डर्स भी
ये
हम है।
स्ट्रैटेजी ये इंजन बना सकता है नुब्रा?
स्ट्रैटेजी इंजन इस डेटा के साथ तो बना सकते हो आप, डेफिनेटली स्ट्रैटेजी इंजन जो
ओके,
बनेगा तो इस
ठीक है।
डेटा
तो
से आप
ये पार्ट मुझे थोड़ा इंटरेस्टेड हूँ। सो
हाँ
जस्ट हाउ कैन आई गेट कांटेक्ट, इसके बारे में बात कैसे करेंगे बाद में?
यू कैन रीच आउट टू मी ऑन माय फोन नंबर, इट्स देयर
ठीक है
ऑन
भैया।
द ग्रुप इटसेल्फ, या फिर मैं यहाँ पे डाल दूंगा चैट में एट द एंड।
हाँ, प्लीज डाल दीजिए, तो बाद में हम लोग इसके बारे में डिस्कस
श्योर
करेंगे।
श्योर, डेफिनेटली।
थैंक यू सर।
No worries, Ismail. So hi guys, we'll just wait for maybe 5 more minutes. Till then, please give me some time. If any of you want to speak or discuss something else, something light, because I'll start the webinar. You guys can.
Hi, Akshay.
Hi.
I had gone through your data actually. It is quite good here.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
impressed. Yeah.
So I'll show you most of the features we have here with regards to the data we have. तो हमारा यहाँ पे जो historical data है, and that too I'm only touching the historical part. I am not touching the real time data we have. Real time में हमारे पास 5 different WebSockets है, और बहुत heavy WebSocket, कुछ बहुत heavy है जहाँ पे अगर लोगों को कुछ एक्स्ट्रा डेटा चाहिए, जैसे ऑप्शंस, पूरा चेन मिलता है आपको यहाँ पे, ऑप्शन चेन। तो या So maybe we'll wait for a couple more minutes for people to join.
ब्रो, आपका स्प्रेड, व्हाट इज योर स्प्रेड?
The order book level,
हाँ।
we have 20 level order book.
क्या बोल रहे हो?
हाँ
श्योर?
या तो अगर आप इसको कॉल करोगे आपको 20 लेवल मिलेगा, और हमारा नेक्स्ट अपडेट जो आ रहा है, सो फॉर पीपल हु डोंट वांट टू कॉल दिस हैवी लेवल ऑर्डर बुक, यू कैन कॉल डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर लेवल, सो यू कैन गिव इट असाइन इट अ वैल्यू, से 5 10 13 जितना भी लेवल आपको चाहिए उतना मिल सकता है, टिल 20।
ओके ब्रो, दिस इज समथिंग क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग। आपका वो मेटा 5 से इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर पाएंगे ना?
मेटा ट्रेडर से नहीं है, नहीं हमारे पास यहाँ
नहीं
पे
है ना?
पाइथन है। हाँ पाइथन और REST API है, तो दोनों बहुत
अच्छा,
इजी है। और लाइक वी हैव दिस चैटबॉट, तो आप यहाँ से ही कोड लिखवा सकते हैं। तो दिस
ये
चैटबॉट
किसके लिए? फॉर
सॉरी
ये ट्रेडिंग के लिए, लॉजिक स्ट्रैटेजी की?
जैसे like अगर people if they find it hard to go through the documentation, you can just ask the chatbot to get you these particulars. So it helps, it eases your this thing, your process of joining. अच्छा, just 3 more minutes guys, मैं शुरू करूँगा उसके बाद. हाँ तो yeah, I think I'll start अभी. मैं अपना स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ. Yeah, my screen is visible, right, Subodh? Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly close this. तो या हाय एवरीवन, ये हमारा 6th वेबिनार चल रहा है अभी सीरीज में. So some of you have joined our previous webinars, so thank you so much for coming again and again for these webinars. I hope like I'm able to share, if not knowledge, share the features that we have here at Nubra. So this webinar is particularly of one of our features that we have at Nubra, apart from the ones that I discussed earlier. So it is mostly how strong and how clean and good our historical data set is. So we have historical data set, we have snapshot data set, and we also have real-time data set. I will give you a glimpse of the real-time through this course, this webinar, but mostly it will focus on how strong our historical data set API is and what backtest, how at least people can use our historical data API to make backtesting. So a little introduction on myself. I do this every time. So hi, I'm Akshay. I've done my bachelor's in chemical engineering. So uske baad I was 1 year with JP Morgan, and uske baad close to 7 years I was an algo trader. Now I'm with Nubra as an algo trader and content developer. With me, I also have my teammate Subodh, who's recently joined us. He is also an algo trader and also a data analyst. And some of the assets you will see through the slides are actually made by him as well. So it's both of us that he'll be moderating it for now, but he will eventually join me in some of these webinars. So this is Nicholas Nassim Taleb. He's a very famous author, also known, financial author basically, also known for his famous book, The Black Swan. So his quote is that the problem with experts is that they do not know what they do not know. And so the idea of backtesting is, so we all think that, oh, you know, one strategy works very well. But jab backtest karoge, that is when you start realizing ki, okay, this backtesting is not always like the same. It will not always give you the same level of profits. There are market regimes you'll have to factor in. There is volatility that you'll have to factor in. There is slippage cost, a lot of other stuff that you have to factor in, even in backtesting. So the backtesting is when you start realizing what have you not factored? What is it that you do not know in your strategy that you've arrived at? So part of backtesting is to have an understanding key, okay, this is a strategy that I want to try. Then you try it out. And then if it works, you would want to refine the strategy, the parameters, or you go move on to finding another strategy. It's basically trying to discover a small edge that you believe you could exploit. So yeah, I already explained what is backtesting. So backtesting is basically you have a large data set of the past, and you try and find basically an edge in this data set. This edge could be anything. It could be large institutions try and find edge within the microstructure. If you're a long-term trader, you would basically use trend following algorithms to try and find it. You would use different breakouts. If you're a very low mid frequency trader, so in the 1 second data you could try finding VWAP reversion, where if the price deviates a certain level from the VWAP, you either short or you go long. So the idea of backtesting is that you have a large data set and your strategy you apply it to that data set and figure out if the strategy does well in the long term. And backtesting is not just for 1 day data. You could do it also for minutes. You could do it intraday. One of the strategies that I'll show you is like an intraday backtesting strategy. And these are basic strategies. The idea is that I want everyone else to try and utilize it. Also, I would want to say all of the codes that I have here are copy pastable, which means that if you copy pasted the code that I shared to this, you could run it without, there is no API key here required. Our authentication is not the API key-based authentication. We have a separate authentication, which is an OTP and MPIN-based authentication. And so there is the codes are direct copy-pastable. You could run some of these strategies your end and tweak the parameters as you see them. So I'll go to the next slide. So both please stop me when there are any questions.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so where can I get historical market data? So in India right now, we have a lot of data vendors. We have brokers, we have other third-party data vendors. And we all do our best to provide as much and clean and rich data that we have. So at Nubra, just as a comparison slide, I'm comparing like the big data vendors here. So we provide OHLC data, OHLCV data. We have a very rich set of OHLCV data. Granularity, the intervals are from 1 month all the way down to 1 second. So the entire interval that is there in between. We also provide expired options. This is there for the last 3 months. This again, same granularity. You can get 1 second data for expired options, or you could get it for the month, but these are for the past 3 months. Expired options. So after expired, so there are some that give expired options, but in our case, in Nubra's case, we also calculate real-time Greeks. And that is also available post market in expired options. So in our historical data API, you also get Greeks as well. So there are few traders who trade options a lot would benefit from the Greeks that are available in our platform. And again, Greeks are like whichever interval you query it for, you would get Greeks for that interval. Apart from Greeks, our special cases, we have 1 second data as well. So you get that second tick on, it's not tick data, but it's close to being a tick data. You get 1 second data, and the data set we have, the fields that we have are not just open, high, low, close. You have volume, you have L1, so your top of the order book data also you have your L1 bid, L1 ask. You have your Greeks that are available. You have your open interest also that you get at 1 second. So a lot of these data points you get in the 1 second data interval. Apart from this, we have pre-market data also. So in the case of Nifty, if you change the time from 9 a.m., you would get the pre-market, how the exchange matching happens. This is partly due to the fact that our parent is an HFT firm, and they handle the tick by tick data. And so the data set we have is very strong because of that reason. Our infra is built very strong around it. So that is a rich data set that we have here, the historical market data that we have here. And this is just a small comparison of what we have. Through the slides, I will show some of these features, not all. And I would urge some of you who are very interested in the data that we have here to go through it. This is just the historical market data. I haven't touched the snapshot, nor have I touched the real-time data. So yeah, this is just a glimpse of the 1 second historical data we have. So this is just for like Nifty and the ATM strikes that I've queried it. And this is for yesterday's 10th of Feb. This is for the expired options. So I'm just showing you expired options also with Greeks. So I've queried the Greeks, and the data frame, as you can see, has the Greeks as well. This I've queried it for intraday. And then it's just a normal, I've plotted these different delta, Greeks. We also have OHLCV data for the last 10 years. You can query it monthly, weekly, daily, depending on how you want your frequency. Again, these are just small examples of it. Data set is vast and significantly more stronger than what I'm showing here. So how do we how do we access this market data? So before that, this slide is basically how do we as traders and developers connect to the exchanges directly, and how Nubra as the broker, as a really strong broker in this field, and this strong infrastructure that we have built around it, how do we help you connect to the exchanges? So essentially, like most brokers, we have an authentication, but our authentication is very simple. We have an OTP and MPIN based authentication. So all you have to do is, once you have an account with Nubra, you basically authenticate yourself by putting your phone number. It generates an OTP and an MPIN. And this is the most manual way of authentication for us. We have much faster, fully automated authentications as well, where you just use a TOTP secret. You use your PyOTP module to get your TOTP, and then you authenticate yourself. Authentication, again, is by far our biggest strength that we have here at Nubra. It's very easy for you to use to access our APIs, which is also why some of these codes, like I said earlier, are copy pastable because of how the authentication is built. So if you copy paste some of the codes I show through the webinar, you could run it on your end immediately and test out the data that comes. So you authenticate yourself, and then you have access to our market data APIs, you have access to our place order APIs, and you have access to our portfolio APIs. So you can track your PNL, figure out which strategies are doing well. With place orders, you can place single orders, multi-orders, flexi orders, also assign them like strategy names. So you can then in your portfolio, you can see which strategies are doing better or not doing better. And then in market data, we have real-time market data, we have historical, and we have snapshot data that we have. And in today's webinar, I'll be showing you the historical data. So no questions to yet, right?
Actually, we do have a question.
I wanted to, I had one small question.
Sure.
So do we have the tick level data as well?
Tick level data right now, historical, we don't provide.
Okay. All right. Actually, I wanted to run some research of the HFT models on the tick data for the historical data itself.
So the lowest granularity we have is 1 second. And
Okay.
at the 1 second level, we also provide you. So if I just show this bit, at the 1 second level, we also provide you these fields basically. So at your level, you would probably be looking at like the L1. So here we have only the L1 and L1 bid and L1 ask. If you're
Okay.
looking at the microstructure, of course, anything bigger than this, it'll be a very heavy data set. So we don't store it on our end as well.
Right.
And,
Understood.
again, so you get at least the top level order book, and this is for the last 7 days. So you get 1 second data for the last 7 days.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to have bigger data actually for last 5 to 10 years. And even if it is not per second data, it's still okay. Even if you are able to get the data for 1 minute or 1 second, that's good. But I wanted to have a longer period of data, at least you can say 5 years or 10 years or even more than that, that would be okay, because the more data will be, the
So
more
I-
confident we can
yeah.
get on the model.
So for the smaller intervals, the 1 minute interval, currently we have up to 3 months. This we are increasing on our end at the back. But yeah, currently it's at 3 months. And for some instruments, we have it slightly longer. But then again, work is going on to make this at a much longer time frame. I understand you.
Understood. But the FNO data for last 5 years along with the spot,
Yeah.
do you have the access to that, or as of now, not yet?
No, as of now, we are not giving it on our end, but I will let you know. Yeah, once. So currently we have access for the last 3 months, the FNO data that we have.
Understood. No worries about that. Thank you.
Any other question? I can continue. All right, so continuing, these slides are again a repetition of the previous slides. I think some of you have been here would have seen it. So it's basically to talk about a UAT environment and our live environment. So our live environment is our terminal that we have built for retail traders to trade from. So you could place orders like you normally would in any other terminal, and the order matches in the exchange, and then you get your orders in your holdings, in your positions first, and then in your holdings. So this is the live market that we have here on the right hand side. On the left hand side, we have basically built a feature which is the UAT environment, which is for algo traders to test out their strategies before they move to live deployment. So while on the looks of it, it looks the same, their functionalities are completely different. UAT, you could, it's basically virtual funds. You could take as many trades as you want to. You can test out as many strategies as you want. It is real time. You place these orders via API, and the orders reflect here. And in the positions tab, you will be able to track your PNL as well. So before you test out your strategies in the live market, you would test them out in the UAT environment. You are not capped here by the funds that you have. So you could test out as many strategies as you want. You could place as many orders as you want. The funds are unlimited, basically, in this case. It's virtual funds. And the way, so in the next slide, so the way we match your orders is that we use the real-time market data is shared across both the environments. So if you were to place an order in the UAT environment, we would match your order based on the order book that is available at the market at that point. The only possible differentiation is that you would probably not face slippages, or if your order size is very big, you would, in a real market scenario, you would end up eating the order book a bit. But here, we would just match your order book based on the order book. We'll just match your orders based on the order book we see here. So that is a UAT environment. A little glimpse of it is here in this video. So this is a market order that is being placed in the UAT environment. As you can see here, the environment says UAT. If you change it to prod, so once you've tested your strategy on UAT environment for a couple of days, say 4-5 days, and you're more comfortable in testing it in live market, you could just switch. You just change the code line UAT to prod. Basically, you just change those strings, and it deploys the same strategy to your production environment. That's how easy we have built this entire. So this is the UAT dashboard. You can see the URL is also different, uat.nubra, and you can see the orders are being placed. So this is the market orders that were being placed. There's one more example of an iceberg order. So you can see the total quantity is 1,000. The iceberg is split into 100. So leg size is 100. So again, this is how our authentication is. It's just an MPIN that you are, it's basically MPIN is like a unique value that you provide to us as you log in. Everyone has their own unique MPIN. So yeah, as you can see, the orders are getting filled here. Reliance, there are about 489 quantity. And as this, so since it's an iceberg order, as the order book is available, as the quantities are available, we are matching you to those quantities at that price that you send a share, at that limit price that you have assigned. So basically, you can see there are 553 out of 1,000. It slowly assigns you quantities as the order book is available for that quantity. So you can see here at the bottom here, orders are coming, orders are getting filled. You could also test, this is not just for stocks. You could do futures, you could do options here. And we are also introducing BSE as well. It should get introduced in a couple of days. It's already there, BSE stocks are there, but the support for BSE market is also coming here in the UAT environment. All the trades, all the orders placed here in the UAT are only programmatically placed. You can only use APIs to place. You can't buy a stock here. So as you see, Reliance is filling up slowly, coming close to 1,000. Yeah, so it's now the status went from open to filled. So now you're completely filled. And so, yeah, this is our UAT environment that we have. Any questions before I move on? None. No chat-based questions also, right?
Bro, for gold and silver,
Yes.
I just want to understand the spread,
So currently work is going on to add MCX. We don't have MCX yet. We have BSC and NSE currently, but MCX will take probably a couple more weeks to be added on.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our UAT demo. So if you're interested in seeing more and having access to our APIs are free. So you could use our market data API, our place order API, and try out entire infra that we have built here for yourself. So you could scan the QR code here or open a DMAT account. And in 24 hours, your account will get activated and you'll have access to the UAT environment and all the APIs that we have here. So yeah, I'll just continue. So in this webinar, I'll just be going through 3 different styles of backtesting and 3 different data sets also to show you the different data sets that we have here. The last bit is slightly more visualization than backtest. It is to visualize the 1 second data. Then I'll explain how I have tried and built, how I try to basically visualize it. The first one is a technical analysis, basically done on stock market data. This is done on a daily time frame and a monthly time frame. So I'll show you how I have gone about building it. Again, this is more from a beginner's point of view as well. The idea is that there is something actionable out of it. So when I share these codes, I'm trying to show you how you could use these codes to try and test these out for yourself. Again, the caveat being that these codes are built for the market data that we have at Nubra here. So if you have an account with us and if the login is done, if 24 hours has passed since the account opening, you will be able to run some of these codes that you have here. So it's just a normal stock that has been inputted. The inputs basically take stock, the start date and end date of the strategy, and the interval that you want to run the strategy at. I use ChatGPT here to build the backtest function, which is the strategy function is built by ChatGPT based on the parameters that I given it basically. And then basically I run it with different parameters and programmatically try and optimize the parameters here. This is not brute force method. I am manually changing the parameters here. I'm assigning it parameters. Ideally, you would want to brute force it and have a code that tries all permutation and combinations to arrive at the best parameters. There are, I'm sure, ML models that do it really well. After that,
So can you recommend any ML or a model which can do the optimization? Yeah.
I'll speak to you after the class, Ismail. I'll get in touch with you after the class.
Okay.
Yeah. After this, webinar, I keep calling class. So apart from that, there is the expired options backtest that I'll be showing. This is just a very simple 920 straddle, and I'll visually try and show whether 920 straddle is working in 2026 or not, and how we could look at optimizing it. This is again done for like basic and beginners basically. So I'll just go to the next. So the first strategy is the stock technical analysis strategy that we have. So the way the structure that the code is built is basically there is market data that we call. The market data here being historical market data. It could be of any interval. So that is one code block that is there. That is a function that is called. Then we have a separate strategy function, which could be the strategy you're looking at. So very simple strategies like moving average crossovers, RSI, MACD, and any other strategy, super trend you could build. So any strategy you could build a function here. And this is the part that I will be using ChatGPT to build. The second bit is the PNL function, which basically calculates your PNL based on whether you go long or short in some of these strategies. So in the codes that I show you next, the strategy and the PNL are grouped together as one code line, and I asked ChatGPT to build it accordingly. And then the last bit of this code block is basically a charting code block, which charts the PNL and also the OHLCV to see how it looks over the time period that I've selected. So again, very easy strategies I've selected, but the idea is that this code, when shared, you could easily alter the strategy and PNL function, and you could backtest it yourself. So this is the first backtest. I have arbitrarily just chosen TCS. So if you could see, this is the market data code function. It's a small function. It's written big because I'm trying to clean it a bit. Then there is a strategy code that is there. This is slightly large because this includes the strategy and also the PNL code lines. And then you have at the end, you have a charting code line, which will try and chart the entire PNL and also your OHLCV. So I'm just running this code line. It's prompting me a stock to add. So I've added TCS here. Just for this time period, I've taken a year back. Just as an example, you could go as far as back as you want, 10 years back at least as you want, and test out different intervals of data from 1 month, 1 week, 1 day. Yeah, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 also. And of course, 1 second also. So this is just a 620 moving average strategy. It has the function, the strategy function works. It provides me this data set that is being charted here and also the PNL at the end. So arbitrarily chosen TCS, it's showing me a PNL, it's showing me a negative PNL basically on this 620. So that is the first test that I did on TCS for the last 1 year. Now this is again not brute force. There is a prompt that I have for this. I'll be sharing everything with you all. And I just put this prompt in ChatGPT. I just replace the function section here with the function that I previously ran. So I copy paste the function here. And then I put my strategy here. So it's just a one-liner, and I'm assuming ChatGPT the reason why it's such a big prompt is because I wanted to be right at the first time. And the more data you give ChatGPT, the better it gets at building your prompt. So initially it was a 60-20 moving average. Now my hunch is that 30 could be a better like parameter for the moving average. Again, you could optimize this using certain ML libraries for sure, where it would run different permutation combinations. So it's given me the function. I have just copied it and I replaced the code lines here. So this is now the replace code lines. I rerun the strategy on the same stock again, TCS, same year. Yeah, and so it charts it, and this time the PNL is slightly positive. So this is for the year. Of course, this takes only one quantity. There's no position sizing added here. It's a very basic backtesting strategy that is being done here. So that is the second backtest here. Again, it's just copy pasting just the function line. I'm giving it a ChatGPT, changing it. There is no other code required on my end for this basic backtest strategy that I built here. So now I'm changing strategy. So the last two are moving averages. Now I want to try something else, and I want to also see if ChatGPT is able to build out a function which is separate from what it has already been building. So it has been doing moving average till now. So I delete the function and I put the previous function that was there. I paste it here, and at the bottom I put my new strategy. So I'm prompting it right now. Can you make this? So I'm asking you to make a relative strength index strategy, and I'm using 20 and 80 as the prompt, short and long, basically. So then it prompts me the entire code line, as you can see here. And so I copy it, paste it back here again, rerun the code, And this time it's the RSI strategy running. Just the title of the chart shows 60, 20, 6 and 20, but it's the RSI running. It'll also plot the RSI. So yeah, same interval, same time frame. I'm doing TCS. As you can see, it's very bad, the strategy. So you're at 1,000 loss. And this is for just this regime, by the way, it's testing it on. Ideally, when you backtest, you would backtest it on multiple regimes and have a strategy that works through, that at least tries to work through as many regimes and not gets blown out. So when you do a PNL analysis, you would have your drawdowns and other charts as well. But this, since we are beginners also here, this is just to show you how you could just copy paste some of these strategies and use them. So now I'm changing strategy again. So RSI work too with ChatGPT. Same prompt again. No coding required in this case. So I just go to my function here, copy that previous function, paste it here. And then I just go and put in my new strategy here. So I'm getting the code lines for the MACD. I can see the signal. Replace it here, run it again. Same time frames chosen again. Yeah, so and in this case, it remained profitable and sort of stayed profitable, partly because the regime started with a fall. And so when the start of the trading was with most of the trend following strategies would have taken a short position. So it started with the profit and then it continued through without taking much loss. So the MACD here tended to work better. So this was the stock-based technical analysis strategies that I've basically backtested on. So yeah, it's mostly using ChatGPT. The code lines for this will be shared with everyone. Those of you who are beginners who want to try and replicate this can try and replicate it on your end as well. I'll be sharing the Google Drive, which has all the code lines for it as well. So yeah, before I go to the next strategy, does anyone have any questions regarding this here? Yeah, hi Sanjay sir.
Akshay, while this is good, when we're backtesting, one of the key components is the trade expense. I'm not focusing much on
the
brokerage, our government taxes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way to include that, or because otherwise your results go for a toss, right?
Of course, yeah. So much of these strategies are like the most basic level strategies, which is what the this is also. It's just like market data, strategy, PNL, and charting. So ideally, in your PNL strategy, you would factor in costs as well to make it as.
My question was: is there an API, or we have to build our own function?
No, there is no API. You would have to build your own function and how you would build these costs in. There is no API as such for it, right?
Okay, got.
Yeah, so I think with ChatGPT itself, you could build the logic of, it would be able to figure out the logic of how to build the PNL. Much of these codes were also done, I've used Codex to do it. So you could build a cost function as well and just replace it here.
Okay, got. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. Are there any limits on this time frames I can pull? There are no limits on the time frame. So we have limits in the sense that I'll just show you the. So for like in intervals less than 1 day, which is like 1 minute, 3 minute, and above the minute intervals, we have data for the last 3 months currently.
Sorry, Akshay, you answered that question. I got it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going back to the. Sure. So then I'll just continue with the rest. So yeah, the next bit of data set that we have is that we have expired options with us as well, historical options that we have. Sorry, I'll just go back 1 second. So we have historical options data as well. And along with just the OHLC, we also give you Greeks. So instead of having to build any calculations on your end, the Greeks calculation on your end, we end up doing it. That's also because we build Greeks real time in our infra that we have built here. So when you query the option chain, you get the Greeks as well. You can separately query Greeks real time, and you will get Greeks for each of the instruments that you query for. So that is the data set that we have here in our historical data API. So the strategy the backtest that I show you here is a very simple 920 straddle, just to see on which days does it do well since the last 3 months. And if there's any pattern with changing the time of the 920 straddle, does it do better in certain time frames during the day itself or not? So first I try and pull the data for the historical data for expired options. This example code line is there, so both will put it in chat. So I basically run a similar example, a similar code that of the examples code line that stores this data basically. So I'm taking it from December 1st in this example. You could do it from November also. So I'm querying the index, the add the money for that day for the Nifty index, and I am taking a 920 straddle, or I will basically change the time frame, and then we will see if the strategy does better or not. So this is the data set that I've queried, and I've saved it in a CSV because it's not a very big data set that was there for this. It's a daily data, it's intraday data set from December. So then I've queried the data in the CSV file and I've stored it. And then I have basically built a dashboard using Streamlit that allows me to change the start time and end time. I have not added a take profit or a stop loss here in this strategy. You could add that as well, and it does really well when you add the stop losses. But this is just a full committed strategy where you take a position and you wait till the exit. So I'm changing the start time here to see if it alters it in my favor or not. And clearly it's not doing anything good in my favor. It's making it worse. So 920 ideally seems like a good start. And then I try and reduce the end time to see if changing the end time makes it better or not. So it does significantly make it better. So likely the larger volatility that's been coming in towards the end of the market trading hours is causing the straddles not to perform as well towards the end of the day. So as you can see, around 3 p.m. is the highest. 3 and 2 p.m. is the highest. So as I change the time frame, it's changing when the exit happens, and then it shows you the profit and loss. This is for the current last 3 months. So ideally, it's trying to find a way manually trying to find a way on which days does it do well. As you can see, the bars are also colored based on the number of days to expiry. So the blues are at expiry, then you have the green, and then you have the red, and you can see multiple reds. So likely 2 days to expiry is not a really good time. That could be a factor. You could run multiple analysis through just this expired option that we have here. I haven't used Greeks here as such. I'm just trying to show what we could do with the data set that we have with expired options. So yeah, this is run for the last 3 months almost, not entirely 3 months. And I can probably also open the So I'll try and show the dashboard live if possible. Yeah, so this is how the dashboard looks. And as I change the time, it changes the profit and loss that is there. So for now, I'll just choose 920, and then I can reduce the time here. It shows the PNL that is there. This likely is the older code. So like around 2 p.m. onwards, it starts showing a better graph, lesser losses and more higher profits here. Yeah, and this is also just the analysis of this last regime that has been happening, which is it's been a volatile couple of weeks since January end. So much of the data factors that regime that has just happened. Doesn't mean that these regimes remain constant. You would want to save some of this data and backtest it later. Yeah, any questions on this as such? None. Continue. So yeah, that is on the expired options.
Bro, I have a question.
Yeah.
So this, for example, multi-time frame strategy, it can be able done?
Sorry?
Multi-time frame.
A multi-time frame in the sense?
Okay, let's say simple strategy RSI above 80, okay, in a 1 hour time frame.
Yes.
Okay, once it comply, then we wait for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Same RSI 80 above. Once it happens, the next opening candle take a buy, and the previous open is the stop loss.
Yeah, so the way that code is built that I had shown earlier is that all you have to do is prompt this exact whatever you have just told me is what you have to prompt the function in between, or the function in between, and it'll build you exactly that exact strategy that you're telling me. It'll build you that, and you have to mention the time frame that you're going to choose is 1 minute. Certain other extra prompt features you'll have to give, and then it'll work on that. It'll work on basically that prompt that you're giving.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea of showing that example was to show that you could prompt. If you prompt well, you could build strategies without having to. This is for quick testing. Of course, you'll have to sanity check your code lines as well. So that is also important. So now that I've seen, I've run this 920 op straddle, and I have certain time frames that I've decided. Maybe I chosen 920 itself, and then the end time I'll probably choose as 2 p.m. So now what we have here is we have a forward testing. So the UAT environment, you could forward test your strategies and see how well they perform in actual live market. So maybe you have arrived at a strategy. Now you want to test it real time. So you can see here, I'm placing a strategy. I'm placing a straddle order. I'll just quickly stop here. I'm placing basically what is happening here is I'm placing a straddle order using our Nubra's Flexi order API. And I'm giving an entry time. So we have an entry time and an exit time available in this order payload. So if you add that entry time and you let it run at exactly 920, if the market, if you're basically placing the straddle order as a market order, it will buy the order. It will buy the straddle, no matter what happens. So when you put an entry time and an exit time, it basically accepts those times as truth, and it executes immediately at that time. Especially if you do a market order. Of course, if you do a limit order, it waits till it reaches your price. But in the case of a market order, it basically accepts your time as truth, and it executes. So in this case, that's what's happening. There is a 920 order, and I've basically put a market order. Yeah. So as we see here, the order is just coming in, and at 920, it will execute. Yeah, this is sped up a bit in this case. So around 920, it has executed. So it's basically accepted the price as the truth. Then this is basically the analysis of that straddle for that day. It's analyzing it at around like half an hour later, how the strategy is performing. This is all done in the UAT environment. So once you're comfortable with the UAT environment, just with the code line, you could shift to the prod environment and replicate some of these strategies in a live market scenario. So right now the straddle has made 1,701 leg and minus 800 in the other. So overall it is positive. Yeah. So So this is forward testing it. So then you would forward test it for the entire day, and you would test the exit and entry times. And if you're comfortable over like say 5 days of testing, you could probably look at deploying it. So that was the second strategy that I wanted to discuss. No questions on anyone's end, right?
मैं एक चीज पूछ सकता हूँ?
हाँ, प्लीज सर।
जो आपने स्ट्रैडल प्लेस किया,
हाँ,
वो आपने मार्केट ऑर्डर पे प्लेस किया, उसमें मार्केट प्रोटेक्शन का कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है? जैसे 5% 10% का ऑप्शन भी अगर होता उसमें तो ज्यादा बेटर ऑप्शन होता ना। जैसे कि मैं प्लेस कर रहा हूँ, नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर जो मेरा जा रहा है वो 5 to 10% के क्राइटेरिया में होना चाहिए।
हाँ, जैसे तो हमारे केस में यहाँ पे जो फ्लेक्सी ऑर्डर है हमारे पास, तो आप यहाँ पे स्टॉप लॉस डाल सकते हैं। तो जैसे ही आप एक लिमिट प्राइस डालते हैं तो यहाँ पे एक स्टॉप लॉस प्राइस भी है।
मैं मार्केट जैसे ही मैं स्ट्रैडल प्लेस करता हूँ, शॉर्ट स्ट्रैडल प्लेस करता हूँ,
हाँ,
तो
अच्छा, मार्केट
मार्केट क्लास में ना जाके
हाँ,
वो मार्केट प्रोटेक्शन पे जाए। जैसे सपोज कीजिए 100 रुपए चल रहा है, मैंने मार्केट ऑर्डर प्लेस किया 5% पे, तो 105 रुपए से ज्यादा पे वो ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट ना हो।
हाँ, आई गेट इट। मार्केट प्रोटेक्शन ऐसा एक एपीआई हमारे एंड पे नहीं है। हम लोग मैं आपका ये सजेशन लेता हूँ।
You already have it.
We do have it.
देता है।
Can I respond?
Sure, Sanjay.
You have it in a roundabout way in flex order. So in flex order, you place it as a limit, a stop SL limit. What he wants will exactly happen.
SL limit.
I mean,
it's a limit order, right?
In a trigger price, you place it in a trigger price and you give the market protection of, let's say, 10 rupees. I'm just saying a number.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
As your limit price, it will perform the same function which he wants.
All right. Okay.
You understand, right? In a flex order, it will execute in the same way. I'm not talking about from a.
Yeah, he's talking about a protection point of view, right? He's like.
Yeah. So protection it will happen.
स्ट्रैडल का प्रीमियम सपोज कीजिए 1 का 100 चल रहा है, लेकिन मुझे तो पता नहीं है ना 920 पे एग्जैक्ट क्या प्राइस पे ट्रेड कर रहा होगा। तो मैं लिमिट ऑर्डर किस तरीके से प्लेस करूंगा जब तक मुझे पता ही नहीं है कि वो किस प्राइस पे ट्रेड कर रहा है।
नहीं तो आप लिमिट पे डालोगे और मार्केट के आसपास से आप वो प्राइस लेके आप डालोगे ना। यहाँ पे या तो एक मार्केट पे डालोगे या फिर आप लिमिट बेसिकली कैलकुलेट करोगे कि उस 920 पे कैसा प्राइस है एंड उसके अराउंड यू विल प्लेस अ लिमिट। Momentum trigger price is basically in case the price doesn't come to your end, you would still be able to enter the flexi order, given the fact that it comes to your momentum trigger price. If I'm correct, Sanjay sir, I probably haven't understood the protection.
Okay, can I explain? Manish sir,
Haji.
Nubra has this flex order feature. So आपको बेसिकली क्या चाहिए? let me talk in layman's language. आपने अभी स्ट्रैडल चल रहा है 100 रुपए का, आपको चाहिए कि 105 से ऊपर एग्जीक्यूट ना, करेक्ट?
नहीं, मेरा एक लेग चल रहा है 100 रुपए पे, दूसरा लेग चल रहा है सपोज कीजिए पुट ऑप्शन का 105 रुपए पे, ठीक है?
हाँ, तो 205 रुपए का आपका स्ट्रैडल हो गया, करेक्ट?
205 का स्ट्रैडल हो गया, लेकिन मुझे नहीं पता 920 पे वो कितने का होगा, ठीक है? मैं तो ऑर्डर प्लेस करूंगा मार्केट प्राइस पे, बट मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि जो मार्केट प्राइस पे ऑर्डर प्लेस हो वो 5% के प्रोटेक्शन पे ही हो। ऐसा ना हो कि उस बीच कोई फैट फिंगर टाइप का ट्रेड हो जाए।
अच्छा, मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, आप एपीआई से प्लेस करोगे कि आप टर्मिनल से प्लेस करोगे ये ऑर्डर?
मैं एपीआई से प्लेस करूंगा।
तो एपीआई से प्लेस करने से पहले आप एक लाइन लगेगी आपको रीड करने की दोनों की प्राइसेस।
हाँ वही,
राइट?
तो राइट बिफोर 920 के पहले
बहुत ही इंस्टेंट में भी, हाँ मैं जान रहा हूँ आपकी बात, मैं तो कर ही रहा हूँ वो ट्रेड, मैं तो सिर्फ ऐसे ही पूछ रहा हूँ क्या होता है। कई बार बहुत इंस्टेंटली प्राइस चेंज होता है, बहुत ही इंस्टेंट।
हाँ, तो मैं उसका सोल्यूशन आपको बता रहा हूँ। आप रीड करोगे, एल्गो में आप कैसे रीड उसको,
मैं वेबशॉकर से डेटा लूंगा, मैं एलटीपी लास्ट ट्रेडेड प्राइस लूंगा, उसको 5% का प्रोडक्शन डाल के लिमिट ऑर्डर डालूंगा। ये तो मैं कर ही रहा हूँ।
नहीं, लिमिट आप फ्लेक्स ऑर्डर डालोगे। तो फ्लेक्स ऑर्डर इज दिस, नुब्रा में एक एपीआई है फ्लेक्स ऑर्डर का, इट विल एग्जीक्यूट एट दैट प्राइस ओनली, उससे नीचे ही एग्जीक्यूट होगा। आप जैसे अगर आपने 205 का स्ट्रैडल चल रहा है, आपने बोला कि मुझे 202 और 208 के बीच में एग्जीक्यूशन चाहिए, आई एम जस्ट अज्यूमिंग, राइट? तो आप ट्रिगर प्राइस डालोगे 202 का और लिमिट प्राइस डालोगे 208 का एंड देयर फ्लेक्स ऑर्डर वर्क्स।
ठीक है ओके
ओके अंडरस्टूड। तो अगर आप वो डालोगे तो फ्लेक्स ऑर्डर में दोनों ऑर्डर जाएंगे, आपका काम हो जाएगा। आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू वर्क अराउंड व्हाट आई
या सो हमारे यहाँ पे जो मोमेंटम ट्रिगर प्राइस है बेसिकली इट अलाउज यू टू स्टे इन द code. So agar if it doesn't reach your limit price and it still goes like below the momentum price, you enter the straddle. Basically agar aap short straddle le rahe ho, so it's still you're still a part of the trade here in this case. So yeah, thank you so much Sanjay sir. I probably didn't understand the question really well. So yeah, going back to the last bit of the backtesting. So that was the straddle that we have here. 920 straddle. Now it's just basically I'm trying to show you the 1 second data historical data set we have here, and I'll try and also chart it to see how it visually looks. So the charting that I've done here is basically a GUI. There is a module called Python Qt graph, and so in this case I've just basically I'm querying the 1 second data here for Nifty at the money call and put for yesterday's data set. So I've chosen these strikes and then I'm just going to be querying the data for it. All this code lines can be available if you want. If any of you reach out to me, I can share these code lines to you as well. So then I'm just going through a simple SQLite database for it. Since it's historical and I don't really need latency or read or write time. So yeah, you can see here this delta gamma theta vega stored here. You can see 1 second time frame difference 9:15 the first minute there are like 60 data points there. And this is for both call, put and also the Nifty options. Sorry, and also for the Nifty index. So yeah, that is the 1 second historical data that we have here. This is, before I reach here, I'll just quickly show you how the data looks as well. So I'll just show you how it looks in the GUI. So like this is the GUI. So if for those of you interested and who find it very hard to basically plot large data sets, you could use these two modules. I can share this code line for you. You could use these two modules and basically try and plot these large data sets that are there. These are like thousands of points per instrument and then across different instruments. So this GUI plots it really well. The way I built this dashboard is that you could see the Nifty index at the top. This is the call, the put value, the call delta and the put delta. And then I can select any of the Greeks that I want. So if I want to see how theta behaves, I just reset the value. And then if I can spot patterns. So ideally, first you try and understand what data set is there with you. You try and spot repeating patterns. And then mathematically, you try and statistically find a way to build how this data looks or what happens at these peaks and troughs. So you can then take advantage of this edge that you have. So a lot of the 1 second data is used to again build VWAP and then see how far the prices have gone from the VWAP. This will again be a very noisy VWAP, but it will be more clear, closer to the point, closer to VWAP, because the VWAP here is at the exact price the volume is. So if you chart this price and the volume, you could see certain prices you have larger volumes. And so when you see the VWAP deviate from the price, you could take positions. You could also use it for market microstructure. So if you find a way to, you could do like an order book imbalance that you can chart here and find out different areas where basically there's a repeat pattern happening either through mathematically through Greeks that you have determined or through IV that you have determined. And then basically you try and find a pattern through all of this. Again, the idea of this is to show you how you could try and visualize like 1 second data. It is not very hard to visualize it. You could build all of this very easily. And once you find a pattern, you basically try and mathematically or statistically try and determine what the pattern is. So yeah, that's the 1 second data frame. I have not done any backtest on this. This is just an analysis of basically how to chart a 1 second data frame. This is also, by the way, just GUI is also real time. So you could run it real time as well. And it plots it, dynamically plots it. If there's no other questions, I'll just go to the last bits of the slide. So how do you access the Nubra APIs? This is a small video that Subodh has made of how to, yeah. So yeah, that was how easy it is to install our SDKs. So once you have access to the SDK, the rest of the steps are very easy on how to access our APIs that we have here, place orders through us, use the portfolio APIs, and everything else that we have here. Yeah, so this is our API documentation that we have. We have a chatbot here as well. So to make the integration slightly more easy on our end, so I have given it a prompt here asking it to build a code, a place order code for me for a particular instrument, which is Reliance, and the amount of quantity. So the orders are placed through a REF-ID system that we have here. So the number I've given here is Reliance's REF-ID. So the code lines are getting built here. So yeah, in this case, yeah, I'm pasting it. Yeah, so as you can see, the orders are placed. So it's very simple. So the chatbots are built so that you could integrate and start off very quickly get used to our APIs that we have here. So yeah, so once you open an account with us, this is how the dashboard looks. It'll say KYC verified. It takes 24 hours for it to look like this. And once your KYC is verified, you can immediately log in and use our APIs. You can basically immediately log in and use our APIs. The logins are very easy. I'll show you an example of how to log in. So I have the QR code here for those of you who are interested. You could scan it, install the app. You could complete the entire KYC process that we have here. It takes 24 hours for the verification. And post that, you'll be able to access all the APIs. So for those of you who just want to see a quick authentication of how to authenticate, once you're gone through this entire process, I'll just quickly show you how the platform looks. So this is how the terminal looks. So when I go to my account, it says KYC verified, which means that I can immediately access the APIs that we have here. I don't need any other process required. All I do is basically open a new file. See, I open a new file. I go to the, so both would have shared this Google Drive with all of you in chat. So you just go to the authentication section, copy the authentication code that we have here. Just quickly do it for you. Save it. And then I'll just run it. So all it asks me is for, all it asks me is for this MPIN, which I put here. And it prints out the message. So because I have access to the APIs, I have an account, it prints out the message for me. You could test out all the other APIs that we have here. So in market data, we have current price, which is what I just printed. You can print out market codes. There was someone who asked me about the 20 level data. I can quickly show you if you're still. So I just made this to 20. Paste this here and print this code. Yeah, so this prints out the 20 level bid and ask that we have here. So hopefully this has answered the question. Yeah, so thank you all for joining today's webinar. I hope there was something interesting to learn this time too. And yeah, you can book a slot with me here. If you need any help with making an account, setting it up, any help with the APIs as well, you can please let me know. And you can reach out to me here on this number. Yeah. All right, thank you all so much. If any of you has any question you guys want to ask, you can ask me. If there's anything with setup also required, you can let me know. Otherwise, have a good night, you guys. Bye.